what's all that wussing? Who's wussing out there? Clearly, wussing.
Okay, so I was gonna make this video like an ASMR style video, but Evie is now awake and I foresee that this is not going to work out properly. Also, I'm working around my air conditioning and a lot of other noises, so we're just gonna roll with the punches. Okay, so I took the potatoes, I squished them down with some parchment paper. I'm gonna throw some oil on this and salt and pepper before the next step. Okay, I almost forgot the most important step to this. I put the olive oil, salt, and pepper on this, and then you throw it in the oven to get crispy, so it's like a base for the eggs to go on and it's not all mushy. If I forgot to do that, it would have been a fiasco. It would have been really bad. It would have been like my eggplant I made one day. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Those are in the oven with the meal prep potatoes that we already have going. In the blender, we're gonna take a cup of cream cheese, cup of cottage cheese. This is garlic powder and salt. Then I have 10 eggs right here. I'm gonna crack all the eggs and put them in. While the potatoes are crisping in the oven, I cut up the chicken breast and I think I'm gonna marinate it with some spices and some yogurt. So I have paprika, smoked paprika, cumin, just a little bit, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder. I need to add salt and pepper, but I'm also going to add some yogurt to this, so hopefully it makes the chicken a little, oh man, a little bit more tender. But I'm gonna mix that together. It just missed my oven mitt, so that's actually pretty lucky. So I'm gonna mix this all together with my hands. She figured out how to press the button on her toy. You go Miffy. And oh, also before I put these away, crispy potatoes crisped up for the side of the chicken. And I think after this marinates like for a few hours and I'm almost done cooking, I'll cook this off and then I'll add some honey on top because that combo is just so good. We have the potatoes that got pretty crispy crisp. I'm gonna put those down first. Egg mixture. And I'm gonna put this on here. So there's that. We have the green onions and the bacon. So I'm gonna throw the bacon into here. And then the spring onions. This is what we're looking like right now. So Evie just tried her sweet potatoes. What'd you think? So this just came out of the oven and it did get a little bit stuck to the topper that I had on it. But this is the egg bake that I just made. I am starting the baked spaghetti now. So we have the sausage there. I was gonna get just regular tomatoes, but I ended up getting roused so that it would be a little bit more flavorful. I gotta add the onions and the peppers. We have, sorry my air just kicked on, and I wish that I could keep it off, but it is getting pretty hot here in Florida, so the air is gonna kick on a lot and be a little bit loud. But I have the sausage in there. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil for the onions and peppers. I'm gonna let that get brown and nice and soften the onions and peppers, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the marinara and some sun-dried tomatoes to the whole thing, and then I need to bake off or cook off the spaghetti too. This is basically browned and the vegetables are softened. I'm gonna add this whole thing of marinara, some sun-dried tomatoes, a cup of water, let it simmer down. The pasta is done. This is my method for straining my pasta, and it is pretty annoying with spaghetti because it wants to fall through. I really just need to buy a colander, honestly. I'm gonna throw a big chunk of butter into the pasta so it doesn't stick together. I also might just put this back on the heat so that the pasta can get rid of some of the water that is still in there because of the colander situation. I have the cream cheese was supposed to be softened at room temp, but brain cells are gone at this point, so I just microwaved it slightly. I have my Parmesan right there and the ricotta, so I'm going to combine all of these things together. Okay, so the recipe does not call for this, but I find that if I put the mozzarella solely on top, it gets a little hard and doesn't necessarily stay like creamy and nice. So I'm going to mix some of it into this ricotta mixture. Also, what kind of sketches me out is that it's meat sauce, then the spaghetti, and then the white sauce on top. And I feel like the spaghetti should have the white sauce mixed into it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. It's like, what if it gets all dry, like in between the spaghettis? So, I don't know. You're supposed to top it with mozzarella and provolone and then bake it. So, I don't even know if that's all going to fit in this dish, so I might have to break it up. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to take some of this and mix it into the spaghetti because I don't want the spaghetti to not be creamy. Through and through, I'm a recipe girly, okay? I know how to cook, I love to cook, but one, since having a baby, I have no brain cells really left to think about things and be that creative. And two, I feel like recipes just always just hit a little bit harder for me. Like, it also helps me to like think about new things and come up with new ideas because I'm trying out things that I wouldn't have thought of myself. And I also think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some of this sauce into the spaghetti too. That looks so much better. Okay. Oh, look how cute this is that my sister got me. It's a little dirty because I'm using a spoon rest because it's a spoon rest, but isn't that so adorable? Also, I do have a salt well, but my cat likes to take all the salt out of it while we're asleep. So it says to layer some of this sauce. Yeah, that ASMR was a really cute idea, TBH. I really don't think this is all gonna fit in there. I used to have so many cute larger baking dishes, but when we went vagabond, I decided to get rid of all of my nice cooking stuff. Not all of it, I kept like the really sentimental like things that I do like and that are like nice, but a lot of my like extra items I was like, I'm never gonna use this. We're gonna buy a van, I need van life stuff, REI, that kind of vibe. So yeah, just don't do what I did and get rid of all of your nice collections of things thinking you're gonna do van life, because you know, it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. And it didn't work out because I fell down the side of a freaking mountain in my Jeep. But that's beside the point. This is also my sister's. She made me a zucchini pie when I was postpartum. Super yummy, super nice. She was bringing me food, which was honestly the best. And I still haven't given back her pie dish because I really like it and it's really deep and nice, but I probably should give this back to her because I'd be pissed if somebody stole my pie dish. But honestly, it's coming in clutch right now, so thanks, sis. Then I'm gonna drop on this here white sauce. That's what the recipe calls it, but it's definitely a ricotta mixture. I will link the recipe to this too in the comments. But it's Half-Baked Harvest, and we love Half-Baked Harvest, okay? Her recipes, fire. Maybe she doesn't eat the recipes that she makes, okay? But she definitely knows her way around the kitchen. Let's be real. Let's be real. This is gonna fall, where's my ravioli? There it is. Also, I really like doing meal prep recently, even if it's like, some weeks I do like super healthy, like last week I did ground beef, chicken thighs, plain, a bunch of veggies, and then I made like rice and veggie bowls and stuff, but this week I was feeling recipes. But if I don't meal prep, we're not eating good during the week. And then we'll also be very tempted to order out. So I don't think I'm gonna bake off that yogurt chicken. I think I want it to sit in the fridge overnight. I'll probably cook it off tomorrow. By probably, I mean I will. I'll do it probably after breakfast so that it'll be ready for lunch, because if I don't do that, I'm not gonna do it for lunch. So I'll cook it off tomorrow after breakfast. And that breakfast is already prepped. I also bought some apple chicken sausages, and I saw a girl on Instagram say she mixes that in cottage cheese. How was your walk?
Good.
Good.
She's asleep.
Okay, I'm gonna consult the recipe again. All right, I'm gonna top this with the sauce. But yeah, so this, I'm making the chicken enchilada bake, but I'm just basically prepped the onions and cut the chicken up, and I'll cook that later this week. Should be pretty easy. So this, chicken enchiladas, the 2 breakfasts I mentioned, and the one that you saw made, and then the chicken and potato bowls is basically the meal prep for the week. Okay, here are the finished products. I put it on 2 baking sheets because I'm so afraid of it bubbling over and causing a smoke attack in the kitchen, but there's number 1, there's number 2. Pretty excited about that. Also, please somebody tell me how Evie is sleeping in her stroller just like this while I'm banging around in the kitchen and talking, when just the other day I took her for a walk to let my sister's dog out, and she cried for 45 minutes denying a nap, and it was silent, and the birds were chirping, and it was a gorgeous morning, and she just went on like a 95-degree walk. Please somebody tell me how this is possible. Okay, I'm gonna clean this kitchen, this mess of a kitchen that I have going on, and pop these in the oven when the oven gets back up to temp. Okay, so we have both baked spaghettis. They look really fire. Sorry for the loud noises. We got dishwasher and washer going right now, but these look so good. I cannot wait to devour this after the gym. Okay, so meal prep is wrapped up, thank God. But like I said, I'm gonna cook off a few more of the things during the week. So the chicken enchiladas and the yogurt chicken, I'm gonna cook that off later in the week. It's just too much to do all today. I'd like some of my weekend to be a little bit relaxing, but nonetheless, we are on the way to the gym. And by on the way, I mean I am parked out in my apartment parking lot. I'd rather record out here and have my neighbors judge me than people in the gym. It's just a bad look recording in the gym parking lot. Just is super freaking awkward, to be honest. Anyways, so that pasta bake looks super, super fire. I cannot wait to eat that when I get home. And yes, it is not the healthiest week of meal prep, but like I said, last week was right on the money, very easy macros to track. I'm gonna track as well as I can this week, but it doesn't have to be perfect every single week, and I basically know what's in everything that I'm making for different meals. So as long as I just bargain out larger amounts of calories for the pasta bake dinner and the chicken enchiladas, I don't really think those are too calorie dense, but as long as I give myself like 500 to 700 calories for dinner, I'm not really worried about like the nitty-gritty in there. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was originally going to be an ASMR video and very put together, but 4-month-old and all of the other things put together in a small 2-bedroom apartment didn't quite go as planned. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next week.